Welcome to the American Homestead, podcasting live from deep within the Ozark Mountains at an elevation of 2,200 feet. It's 10 Eastern, 9 Central, and it's good to be back. And it's been a while since we've been back because we had last week off, and there was a Deep South Homestead. Very grateful to you guys for taking over for us and running your show long. I know that was probably pretty hard to do. Danny said he was wore out by the end of it, but really appreciate you guys filling in for us. So, got a big stack of stuff for you tonight, folks. A new sponsor, all kinds of news to talk about, and all kinds of things to cover of things we're doing on the homestead. So it's going to be a packed show tonight. Glad you tuned in. Glad you're here. And this show is brought to you by Gas Spouts. GasSpouts.com. We'll get to that in a minute, but just want to let you all know, hey, listen, if you have an interest in other homesteading shows, you can go to thehomesteadnetwork.com, go to their show times, and see all of the different shows, podcasts, and videos that are linked there, other channels, other homesteading channels that you'll find a great deal of interest in, I'm sure. So you can find that all at thehomesteadnetwork.com. But back to GasSpouts.com, sponsoring the show, we have a sponsor. So this past week, we did a video, and it was on these gas spouts I had contacted the company, GasSpouts.com. I was very interested in their gas spouts because I have these gas cans that were purchased from China Mart, and they are just absolutely horrible. I couldn't get any gas to come out of them. I mean, it was horrible trying to deal with these things, and it seemed like many people who watched that video knew exactly what I was talking about because there were so many people who were frustrated. And the owner, I think his name is JT over at Gas Spouts, or the guy who's running it, said that he had a phenomenal amount of orders from you guys who ordered the gas spouts, and so we really appreciate that. And I was able to pick him up as a sponsor for the show. We're going to mention GasSpouts.com every show, and really excited to bring them on. And folks, if you order from their website, we'll give you a 20% discount on the order. So you're not going to get that anywhere else. 20% off your order. If you have those silly gas cans that you purchased at Walmart or Target or wherever, and they have those stupid, child or adult proofs, locks on them so you can't get any gas out of it. You hate those things. I hate them too. You can order regular, just American-made, made in the USA gas spouts. Imagine that from GasSpouts.com and get 20% off your order. So check them out, GasSpouts.com. 20% off. The coupon code is in the description of the video. It's capital A, capital A-H, capital A, capital A, capital H, 20 off. That's the coupon code. Again, it's in the description below. You can find it in the video. So Jamie is with me as always. How you doing?
Good.
How
are you?
I'm good. I got my coffee, so I'm doing fantastic.
I know. I made it for you.
She made my coffee. It's Folgers decaffeinated.
I didn't actually make the coffee. I just put it in the pot and poured water over it.
She just did her magic, and it's working. So I haven't had coffee, since this morning, so I got to have a cup of coffee. It's just tradition now, I think, on the podcast. I got it,
Oh, what are you going to do when it's so hot that sweat is dripping off of our faces? Are you going to drink hot coffee?
We could do iced coffee.
We could.
Get some ice in town.
Actually, I'm kind of considering brewing coffee a day ahead and letting it cool.
Are you going to do cold brew again?
No, because cold brew, like I've said before, I like the acidic taste of coffee. I don't think that you can get cold brew to taste strong enough, at least for my personal preference.
Yeah,
I like strong
coffee.
our
coffee strong, right?
So maybe I'll probably just brew it and then let it cool and stick it in the cooler for the next day.
I know, because it gets hot here, folks.
I've tried to make you do that, or not make you, but suggest that you do that before. You never liked that idea.
I don't mind iced coffee. Then I want to put cream and some kind of sweetener in it, and I just like that cold black or that hot black coffee in the morning. I don't take anything in my coffee, just black.
I like
and strong.
A little bit of cream. But I could do that iced.
I
don't have to have it sweet.
We'll see. We'll see how bad it gets when the time comes. But I'm going to keep drinking my coffee. I just like the taste of coffee.
I know, me too.
Hey, so guys, if you haven't noticed, if you're just tuning in, and there has been a guy, amazing guy, by the name of Stephen Beecroft, who has been taking each one of our podcasts every week and zipping them up and then putting a link to his Google Drive where you can find all of the podcasts downloadable in one file. Every week he does it. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't know that.
Well, he posts the link every week in the description of the video and with the new podcast added. And
did he tell you he was doing that?
No, he just started doing it.
Huh. Wow.
I think that's really cool. So, hey, listen, guys, if you want to get all the other podcasts from An American Homestead, the audio podcast, you can download the MP3s all in one file, in a zip file with all of the shows. Stephen Beecroft puts them at the end of the Google Drive. What I'll do is from now on, from this show on, I will copy his link when he posts it and then put it in the description of the video, because sometimes YouTube, you know, they have censors, believe it or not. They censor things on YouTube, if you didn't know that yet, folks. And they may not put that link in the comments, and so I want to make sure you guys get it. Well, I'll put that in the description from now on of the video. And Stephen Beecroft, listen, man, when you send me a private message, go to anamericanhomestead.com's contact page. I want to send you a T-shirt. So we're going to send Stephen Beecroft. Give me your size, and we'll send you a T-shirt in the mail. Hopefully you don't live in Australia. And so hopefully you live somewhere in the lower 48. But we'll get a T-shirt out to you regardless. I don't care if you're in the middle of the Congo. We'll get it to you. So Stephen Beecroft, really appreciate all you do. I know other people appreciate it as well. And so thank you. So what did we do this week? Don't look at my list. Just tell me what you did.
I can't.
She immediately, instinctively looks at my list over on the screen.
Yeah, because you guys, I'm on a homeschool kick right now, so I'm planning for next year, and Zach thinks I'm spending too much time doing it. I know that's what he thinks.
It's okay. You're the teacher, so you need to do what you need to do. I'm fine with it.
But I love books. I'm a nerd. I'm worse than a nerd sometimes when it comes to this kind of stuff. It's exciting. Like, I really like it. Beyond just teaching the kids as a necessity, I really like it. So
well, it's good to like your job.
I work really hard. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing now. I'm planning for next year. So
she's working on homeschool. And the boy is devouring book after book.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, guys, if you have students who in third, fourth grade range, is that what it is?
Well, he's technically in fourth grade now. Are you talking about what he's reading right now?
Yeah, The Great Brain. It was my favorite book series when I was a kid. I grew up reading it, started in the fourth grade and started reading it. And
I would say it's like a 9 to 12 level.
Age level?
Depending on how, I mean, you can be the judge of what your student is capable of reading. I think it's like a 9 to 12 level. It's
written by John D. Fitzgerald, and it's one of the most well-written books for kids I think I've seen. It's got a very good sense of adventure. It's very clean, obviously. This whole storyline takes place back in the 1890s in Utah, and it's just an amazing book series.
We really like it because it plays into what, I mean, obviously they were living off-grid back then just because.
Absolutely. I mean, they talk about...
we can relate a lot to it.
Yeah, it's definitely relatable, and he relates to it, but I mean, any kid would relate to this. I mean, I was introduced to it by my fourth grade teacher when I was a kid, and I was definitely not living off-grid back then, and I found this fantastic. And I mean, it has different things, this off-grid family living, out west, and... Excuse me, they get their first water closet, if you know what that is, a water closet in their home. First one in town.
I used that story when I wrote about our humanure.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's just all kinds of things. There's train robbers and all amazing things that your kid would love reading. If your kid's a reader, The Great Brain series by John D. Fitzgerald, check it out. Our son is eating it up.
He is the character in the story is a boy's boy.
Yep.
If you know the expression, he's a man's man.
Right.
The character is a boy's boy.
Mm-hmm.
And if your boy needs a little bit of encouragement to get out there and do some stuff and just explore and things like that.
Yep, this is it. That's what you want. So this week also, she's working on the homeschool thing. I cut a lot of large cedar trees this week. Actually, my neighbor cut most of them down. I helped limb them and got them pulled over. I pulled them over to the sawmill with the tractor, and I have a full deck. I'm working with a full deck, honey. And I have
so proud.
All these logs are ready to be cut. Me and my boy tomorrow, my oldest Joshua, 10 years old, we're gonna go down to the sawmill tomorrow and start working on the sawmill and cut those logs up. So Tim is working on a project this week. He needs those boards to finish the flooring, so it's going to be a cedar wood flooring, and it's going to look great. I'll do a video on it, and I'll try to get some footage tomorrow when we cut these boards. I think you're going to really enjoy that. And then planting a lot more squash this week. We worked a lot in the garden, trimming tomatoes, getting the final cages put on the tomatoes. Our tomatoes are growing like crazy now. We got tomatoes on the vines, and so they're coming in. We have... I did a video this last week on harvesting our first Japanese turnip that I pulled out, and there's some more ready to go now, so I'm going to go out there and get some of those tomorrow, probably eat them for lunch. But there's a lot of stuff growing in the garden right now. The corn's coming up. The corn's about waist high. The sorghum is coming. The sorghum is growing, or sorghum or sugar cane, whatever you want to call it. It's growing in the field that we planted it this year, and so that's cool. That's coming up. And we're keeping things watered in the garden because it's been dry. It hasn't rained here in really over a week maybe. And it's been hot and dry. And they're saying it's probably going to be till next weekend or midweek before we get any other chance of rain. So it's good to have all of those, hundreds of gallons of water stored up in our water storage. We've got over 1,000 gallons of water stored up over by the garden, and we'll use that to keep the plants growing. So, one thing I was going to mention is I heard this week, Peach Pickin' Paradise is going to be opening its doors soon for the first nectarines and peaches to be picked.
Yeah, so we're going to head over there.
We went last year. So I was thinking about this. Before the show. Wouldn't it be cool to just tell people, hey, this is the date we're going. If you want to go with us, come out with us.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So, folks, how about this? We'll talk it over. We'll look at some dates. I really want to contact Peach Pickin' Paradise because they always say on their Facebook post, please call before you come so we're going to be here. I'll work it out with them on a day, we can bring arrange a bunch of people to show up. I don't know who will show up. Maybe nobody will show up. Maybe it'll just be me and Jamie. I don't know. But we're going to let you guys know when we'll be there. And if you want to come too and pick peaches with us, by all means, come out and pick peaches with us. And maybe we'll, eat peaches afterwards or something. I don't know.
They're so friendly there.
Yeah, they're great.
We had a really good time last year, and they directed us as we needed it, and it was really fun.
They'll give you demonstrations on how to cut peaches properly, and
it's so easy to pick the peaches. The thing that I was really, really impressed by is they keep their trees pruned in such a way that the limbs aren't really tall.
Right.
And so pretty much anyone of normal height can get a good amount of peaches.
Right.
I mean, even the boys could pick some.
Yeah. So that's what we're going to do with, our peach tree that we're growing, our peach trees, is keep them pruned. I mean, literally, our kids could pick peaches. I could pick peaches. I could reach up almost to the top of the tree, and I'm only 5'10", and so it was the way they pruned them. I'm taking note because I want to do the exact same thing for our peach trees. It's just a great operation altogether. So that's why I think it'd be cool if some of you guys, came out with us, if you wanted to. I mean, I know some of you all don't live in the area; you live far away or wherever. But if you do live somewhere in Arkansas area, I know there's people who listen to our podcast and listen to our channel, and you're in Arkansas, you're in even the Northwest Arkansas area. Feel free to come out with us, and you'll have a great time. So. So tonight, we'll probably spend some extra time in the chat room since we haven't been with you guys in the last 2 weeks. there was an article that caught my attention this week, and it was called the Solar Powered Garden Robot. The Solar Powered Garden Robot.
Huh.
And I was like, what? And this was what you see on the. So just in case you don't know, all of the articles that I talk about on the show are already linked in the description below. You can just go down below the description and find the links, and so you can follow along the articles with us as we discuss it. But when you pull up the article, it's over at roboticmagazine.com, and the link, again, in the description below, it pulls up a picture and the article, and you see this little white, wagon or tractor-looking thing. It's like a tractor. Doesn't it look like a tractor? Solar-powered tractor.
Yeah, it looks like a tractor.
But it's real small, and it's like a solar-powered little tiny tractor, and it's developed by Franklin Robots. It's called a solar-powered garden robot. It's called the Turtle. And it's a 100% solar-powered robot that lives in home gardens, and it weeds every day, rain or shine. The first wave of robots will be available. The first wave of robots, like it's an army of garden robots set on world domination. The first wave of robots will be available this summer after Turtle's crowdfunding campaign begins June 13th. So that's in 3 days. Upcoming Turtle models will be engineered with the ability to detect and repel pests and relay info back to your smartphone as needed. So as they're conquering the garden for you, they're relaying back the info so that you know what their progress is. That's the deal. So that's an upcoming model. So the current models don't detect pests or repel pests, and they don't relay information back to your smartphone. So what is it that these current models do?
They pull weeds. I thought it was that they pull weeds.
It lives and weeds every day. Weeds. All right. So how does it weed? I mean, does it have a hand that? Okay. Here's how it says. How it works. Turtle maintains your garden by using its artificial intelligence to determine the best times to sniff out new weeds. I didn't know weeds made a smell, but okay. The bot regularly whacks newly sprouted weeds with its string trimming and scrubs out emerging what's that word? Cotyledons?
I don't. Cotyledons.
Cotyledons.
But I don't know what that is.
With its wheels. All right, so let's just go ahead and check out cotyledons.
Cotyledons?
What's cotyledon?
I don't know.
We're going to Google it. Cotyledons. I got it pasted in the search engine. Cotyledon, an embryonic leaf in seed-bearing plants, one or more, which are the first leaves to appear from a germinating seed. Okay, I get it.
Cotyledine.
Cotyledine, is that how it's pronounced? She's reading it.
Well, I'm reading the phonetic spelling, but...
Cotyledon.
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 No,
Cotyledine.
cotyledine.
Well, that's a don. D-O-N.
No, but you don't pronounce the O. See the phonetic spelling?
Oh,
it's a long E without an O sound. So, cotyledine.
Where's the T sound in there? There's a D. You said T.
Oh, well, I meant to say D.
Could
Hey, nobody cares. Let's move on.
Okay, so back to the article. The solar-powered garden robot. He says, using its onboard sensors, it's like Star Wars, Turtle knows how to stay in its lane. It says not squeeze... Turtle knows how to stay in its lane, not squeeze in where it can't fit, and not disturb your desirable plants. Turtle only trims plants under a certain height threshold, but if you have a short seedling that you don't want whacked, Franklin Robotics offers protective collars that tell Turtle to steer clear. Other versions of collars double as slug repellents. So slug repellents. 3D printable design is available here, so it's got a link there. Turtle's mission, again, this is like an army of robots, is to eliminate. So you
choose to.
Yeah, it's a mission if you choose to accept it. Turtle's mission is to eliminate the need for chemical weed treatments in the garden while also offering a sustainable 100% renewable solution for managing weeds. Turtle takes advantage of the energy that it can gather from the sun in the most efficient way possible, and so it works hard to maximize the area it covers each day. To keep weeds at bay, it only needs to return to the same spot in the garden every few days, and since turtle is fueled by the same solar energy that weeds are, it can patrol less often on cloudy days because the weeds are also less actively growing. And it goes into some future developments and things that are coming out. It's going to be like a mobile. Think of turtle, they say, as a mobile scarecrow, except roughly the size of a frisbee. Natural pest repellent features. To scare away rodents, it says. So it's going to tackle the rodents. I'd love to see it tackle, our groundhog or armadillo.
I don't know.
There's an armadillo in the garden.
I'm a lot skeptical.
There's no way in the world I would put this in my garden, folks. This would be what happens. You come out there with your tomatoes about 6 inches tall, new in the spring. You put the turtle in there, and you come out to check on your tomatoes and see how the garden robot's doing, and all your tomatoes are whacked down because it makes a mistake. And no, absolutely not.
I'm just a lot more skeptical just because I don't see how it can detect every single little thing that is popping up through. I don't get that.
I don't see how it can see that. And now, how can it see rodents? How is it going to run after an armadillo, especially after the size of the one I killed the other day? I mean, I
don't know. I mean, my brain is just imagining this scenario and some kind of sci-fi movie where the robot screams, and I'm imagining, what's that movie with the hovering robots that actually screamed? They didn't really scream. They just were mating. What's it called?
I don't know what you're talking about. They robots that
with
scream?
Jessica Tandy.
Oh,
That
batteries
one.
not included.
Yeah, where the robot is so scared he's just hovering. I don't know. I'm just imagining that scenario.
That's a funny movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Batteries not included. Old 1980s movie, I think. It's back in the 80s or something, 90s. I don't know, folks. I'm not putting it in my garden. No way, no how. We're going to have to come light years ahead of the technology. I mean, basically, these two prototypes they have on the screen just look like they were put together, and I mean, who knows? There's no way. I'm trusting. I mean, because if I came out and all my tomatoes are whacked down, there goes our salsa for the year. I mean, you can't take a chance on that.
No, you can't.
No.
No, it's too important.
No. No. Okay, so that was the first article. Robotic Magazine. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm not doing it, but if you want to be the guinea pig, by all means. Oh, so hey, where do you think the world's largest floating solar-powered farm is?
Largest floating solar-powered farm.
Mm-hmm. Solar panel farm or solar farm. Yeah, solar farm.
Floating? Well, it's got to be somewhere near the equator on the ocean. Floating?
Make a guess. Floating. It's floating in the water. The world's largest.
I don't know. An island near the equator.
No.
I don't know.
It's in China. Because everything's in China. It's in China.
Well, China encompasses a large amount of land.
Trump
Look
says
at all those solar panels.
China. Well, they say this isn't a real picture. I think I read that. Because supposedly this farm is top secret or something.
Floating solar farm.
So the article it's from the South China Morning Post. It says China flips the switch on world's biggest floating solar farm. The plant occupies a flooded area once used for coal mining and can generate 40 megawatts of electricity, enough to power 15,000 homes.
Why floating, though? Like, why does it have to be?
Because it's just water real estate that nobody's using. Might as well put it there.
Okay.
Makes sense. I get it. I get
right.
it. But the article has a huge tilt on environmentalism. And they're really, you can tell by reading it, they're really upset that Trump pulled out of the Paris, climate agreement. But we'll read the article. It says the world's biggest floating solar power plant is up and running in China as the country increasingly looks to renewable sources for its energy. It comes at a time when Beijing is expected to take a bigger role in global efforts to tackle climate change after the United States, pulled out of the landmark 195-nation Paris deal. So you can tell they're all the liberal writer of this article is making herself apparent. what her politics are. It says the new solar farm in the city of Huanan in the central coal-rich Anhui province can generate 40 megawatts of electricity, enough to power 15,000 homes. That's according to the Sungrow Power Supply, the Chinese firm that built the plant. It was connected to the city's power supply grid in May. The solar farm occupies an area that for years saw intensive coal mining, the poor place. It saw intensive coal mining, destroyed probably millions of animals. Subsidence and heavy rain created the lake where the solar panels have now been installed. So you get the whole tilt. I mean, do you see it? They're like, coal mining ruined this area, and then rain came, and then they've now reused the area for something profitable.
Is this person writing this article using electricity gained from
a coal plant,
burning coal?
Probably.
So I don't really think she has a leg to stand on.
Those panels float on the surface of the water, which ranges in depth from 4 to 10 meters. It says while Sungrow did not disclose the exact size of the plant, its capacity is double of the solar farm previously considered the world's biggest. That plant is also located in the same city, built by, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, Solar in 2016. So at the end of the article, there was something I noted. Let's see. I'm trying to find the part in the article. Integration build a 1 gigawatt plant. All right, so the article ends this way. China's embrace of renewable energy presents a stark contrast to the climate policies of the United States, which has announced it will exit the landmark Paris Climate Agreement. U.S. President Donald Trump has slammed his predecessor, Barack Obama, for wasting taxpayer money on solar companies called wind farms both disgusting looking and bad for people's health, and proposed an administrative budget that would slash renewable energy by 70%. So let me just say this, folks. I like solar power. We use solar power. I'm all a big fan of solar power. I like wind power. The problem with wind power is that if lightning hits it, it's toast. So, and it doesn't matter what kind of what kind of safeguards you have in place. If electricity wants to destroy something, it will find a way. So the reason I don't like, I get the bent of the writer here, is Trump is slashing solar spending by 70% in this country because these solar panel companies cannot make it on their own. That's it. And so they're basically relying on government handouts, government taxpayer dollars to stay in business. Folks, if you have a good product, the market will buy it. It's that simple. You know, I love solar. I think it works. I believe in solar. I believe in renewable energy like solar panels. We've been using it for now 5 years, and it works. No doubt about it. Okay, it works. However, these solar companies out there that were basically living on U.S. tax dollars, that's just got to stop. Okay, you're either going to make it in the market or you're not. That simple. Anyway, so that's the article. I'll leave it in the links in the description below. You can read it and leave a comment. I don't even know if they, so many of these news websites today don't even allow you to post comments. I just think that's so cowardly. Oh wait, it does. Okay, it does have a comment section. Go there and leave a comment if you want to. But a lot of these places today will not allow you to do comments. One last article before we go to the chat room and talk to you guys. City Council in Texas furious that they cannot just take a man's land who is rich enough to fight them in court. So a certain city council in Texas wants to take away a man's land to run a pipeline through it, and the guy's like, no, you're not taking my land. You're not taking an easement. You're not using eminent domain. And so let me go ahead and read this article. It starts off this way. It says you're going to need to sit down for this one. Last week, the Dallas City Council met to discuss their current agenda. Item number 11 involved an eminent domain case where the city of Dallas was attempting to take the land from a property owner. The council has been asked to settle a case out of court with the landowner. Miss Sandy Grayson, a District 12 nonpartisan, is furious, mind you, that the city cannot simply take
There's your bias.
I just love it when these people get angry. District 12, you're interrupting me.
Sorry.
District 12 is furious that the city cannot simply take this man's land. She tells Mayor Michael Rawlings, it isn't fair to the city that this man has enough money to defend his property in court. She even admits that ordinary people like you and me, who cannot afford to fight the city of Dallas, end up losing their property, which makes it easier for the city.
Oh, good grief.
She's dead serious, it says, and continues to say he's fought us for years and has cost Dallas taxpayers millions of dollars. Oh, the poor lass. It gets worse, it says. I'm not blaming anyone that we're settling this case, she says, but it's just infuriating that if you're rich enough, you can hold the city hostage for years and get what you want. Oh, like your own land? The land you bought and you paid for?
That's horrible.
She says there's something really wrong with that.
That's horrible. She's living in La La Land.
No. Well, it's really cool because there's a video that goes along with it.
Man.
So that backs up. I mean, this is not, this is actually on video. This woman has lost her mind. You think Nancy Pelosi has gone nuts. This woman, I mean, she beats Nancy Pelosi, just hands down. Every day of the week and twice on Sunday. It says, ultimately, the city is forced to settle and change their constitution or construction plans to move through his property. Oh, no, they'll have to move around his property. The article is in the description below. You can look at it. It's infuriating. It's just going to make you angry. But, if you're having a great day and you're just looking for something to get angry over, this is the article for you. Go ahead and check it out. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the chat room. And see what is going on in the rest of the world. Over on the dashboard, let's go ahead and pop out the chat room. Hey, folks, if you have a question and you want to ask it, put it in all caps so that we can see it, and we'll get to it. And if we don't get to it, if we're talking about something else, then go ahead and post it a second time, all caps, so that we see it. And, we'll try to eventually get to it. Unless your question is just ridiculous, and we may be ignoring you at that point. So you'll just have to, make that determination on your own. So, but we'll see. We'll see. We usually don't do that a lot, though. Sometimes we do, but someone says, well, it sounds like another Maxine Waters. Totally true. Totally true. Anyway, hey guys, also listen, hit the thumbs up. We really appreciate the thumbs up when you come to watch our videos. It tells YouTube that we aren't completely and totally nuts, and that there are people who watch our channel. So
is the feed backed up again like it was?
I don't know. We'll have to wait until we get our question. Do you plant any corn at all? So it's not that backed up. Yes, we plant corn. We have corn, and it's what's the name of the corn?
I don't remember.
Oh, it's an heirloom variety from Baker Creek. It's a very common one. I'm not sure, but it's a very common one they sell at Baker Creek. It's a sweet corn, and I'm looking forward to using that. Next year, I really want to grow popcorn because we eat a lot of popcorn here, and I think it'd be cool to grow our own popcorn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
A lot of it. So I'm going to have to figure something out on that. How do I get out of California? Oh, man. Carolina Rome wants to know, how do I get out of California? You just start walking east. I mean, it's that simple. You just start walking east. You can get in a car if you want to, but, I mean, it's that simple. Just get in your car and head east, I know it's hard, but you got to get out of California. I'm telling people, get out of California. So, besides being free range, what do you feed your chickens? We feed them, I think Tim says it's like $1.50 a day.
I don't remember what it is.
I'm not sure. We should do a video on that.
Yeah.
But I think it's like, I'm not sure what he does, but we do feed some grain. He gets a feed that's special. I'm not sure what it is, but that's what he feeds them sometimes. But I mean, folks, it's important to pick a breed of chicken that is a good forager, because you want them to feed themselves, and they're going to be healthier that way. They're going to be healthier going out and finding their own food, finding the protein from bugs and all kinds of things like that. There are some chickens that don't do that at all, and they're never going to forage, and you just have to feed them all the time for all their food. And we didn't want to do that. So And there's different organic feeds you can find on the market today, things like that if you want to do that. But it's best that, for subsidizing their feed. But if you just go and find, ours are what's it called? The Buff Orpingtons.
Yeah, the Buffs.
And then I forgot what the black ones are called.
We've been over this before.
Australorps?
I think it's, Australorps.
Okay, so those are really good at foraging. So look up chickens that are good foragers and make those your priority for your homestead, because you're going to save a lot of money on chicken feed. Mini Georgian Homestead says you can buy a 50-pound bag of organic chicken feed from Tractor Supply for under $30. Well, there's a good place to go. Tractor Supply. A lot of people have access to that. I'm not sure, if we do, but it's kind of a far out drive for us, though. Do you fill the forms out for the can? Did you fill the form? Oh, for the can? No, I have not yet. I haven't bought one yet, so he's asking me about a suppressor for my gun, if I want one.
Oh.
I'm going to do that. At some point, I'm going to get a suppressor for my 22 and my 9mm. I haven't done it yet. It's on the list of things to do. It's a long list. Australorps. Okay, that's what Emma says. Emma Drummond. Hey, Emma, did you get your knife? Did she get a knife last time?
I don't remember.
I don't know. Benjamin Turner, did you get your knife? Let me know if you got your knife. I want to make ssure we're all caught up on knives for the giveaways we had last few shows. So I want to make sure. I'm thinking we didn't send it out to somebody. So I'm just still wondering. Just wondering, let's see, it says the Music Well wants to know what. Just wondering because I hate setting up cages every year.
You're ignoring all the homeschool questions.
Where's that at?
I know. That's because that's where your brain doesn't go.
I'm trying to find a history curriculum. Do you have any ideas?
I have lots of ideas, but
we'll be here for another week.
Yeah, you would. Seriously. But I'll just tell you what I've decided to do this year because I'm really excited about it. I've done Beautiful Feet in the past. I really like Beautiful Feet's curriculum. However,
who names a homeschool curriculum Beautiful Feet?
It's what they've called it.
I'm just saying.
I didn't name it.
Beautiful Feet. What do we call our homeschool curriculum?
Anyway, I really like Beautiful Feet because it incorporates living books. And if you know what living books is, it's just taking real literature and learning from them rather than just a boring old textbook. That's basically what it is. So I really like theirs. But this year, I'm going cold, like really hard into Charlotte Mason's method. And so if you're interested in Charlotte Mason, you can find a ton of information free online. But if you want a curriculum that's already built from her method, I've decided to use Simply Charlotte Mason's curriculum, simplycharlottemason.com. They have made a really, really good, what seems to me from what I've studied, the Rain's like Charlotte Mason, is a history, Bible, and geography curriculum combined, which is really awesome because you're learning Bible, geography, and history at the same time, and it's all laid out for you using living books. So I'm going to use that for this coming year and hopefully continue. I really think that we'll just use it until the end of our homeschool career at this point because it looks that good.
They're saying it's a reference to Isaiah 52:7, a Bible verse.
Yes, correct. Thank you very much.
Okay. I
did know that. I did know that, but I had forgotten. So that's what we're going to do for history this year is Simply Charlotte Mason.
Okay. Emma and Benjamin, the Turners and Drummonds both got their knives, so we're good.
Good.
I think we're caught up on that. So next week we'll give away another knife. So be sure to tune in next week. We'll give one away. Was the book series called The Great Brain? Yes, the book series was called The Great Brain. It's by John D. Fitzgerald. John D. Fitzgerald. Let's see.
I was just going to say one more thing.
Sure.
If you are researching homeschool curriculum, CathyDuffy.com, CathyDuffy.com. Go to her website. If you want, buy her book. I've never done that, but she reviews every homeschool curriculum out there. So read her reviews. It's a really good place to start. Just go through her number one picks and read reviews.
Very good. It said, is your cow going to be completely grass-fed? And yes. So when we first got her, she was on a little bit of grain that we had some sweet feed we had left over from before. But from here on out, she's going to be basically just grass-fed and alfalfa pellets. So, I mean, you buy the alfalfa pellets, it's just grass that have been pushed into pellets. But yeah, alfalfa is good for overwintering. And so we'll do that, the alfalfa pellets for overwinter. So she'll be grass-fed. And the milk, obviously, I mean, she's not even close to being ready for milking yet. So, that'll all be grass-fed. And for our sheep, too, from now on, we're going to probably stay away from the sweet feed. And unless we add it ourselves, we can make our own molasses here. So unless we add it ourselves, we'll probably just... Because the molasses is very healthy. It's very high in iron. It's very good for your animals. So don't think I'm against sweet feed because it's sweet. I'm against sweet feed because a lot of the grains can be GMO, especially the corn. But the sweet feed is very healthy for your animals. That sorghum, that molasses is very high in vitamins, very high in iron. So it's very good. But I think we're going to go ahead and do mostly just grass-fed and alfalfa pellets. My brother is moving to Georgia from California. Good choice. Only time I've been to Georgia when I was in basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia for infantry. It was hot and there was lots of fire ants. And we found fire ants actually the first time in our garden this week. Mm-hmm. And first time I've seen them in Arkansas. I've never seen them here before. But they were the same type of fire ants that they had in Georgia. I remember that. Won't ever forget that. But they bite. So I don't know. I'm not really familiar with Georgia. I know they grow peanuts in Georgia. I know Jimmy Carter's from Georgia. That's about all I know from Georgia.
And they have really, really, really delicious peaches.
They have good peaches, yeah. Very good peaches. Our peaches are good.
Well, but they're known for their peaches.
Well, maybe they need to come to Arkansas. Try our peaches. Zach, so I read that one. If looking to buy a decent acreage for a homestead, is property taxes high for like 20 acres? Property taxes here is like nothing. Nothing. You'll pay, if you had 100 acres, you might pay, I don't know, $200 for that. Depending on what kind of house you had on it. But, it's not anything compared to like other places. Just not. So, let's see. Do you use filtered rainwater for laundry use?
Filter? I'm not sure what you mean. Like filter like you would for drinking. No, we just use the rainwater out of the tank that's been collected from the roofs.
So someone asked last week, or when we put 2 weeks ago, we put that video up of you doing a tour of the laundry station.
Yeah.
And they were like, so wait a minute. A bird poops on the roof, and it's now in your laundry tank because it's washed down from a rain. You're going to wash your clothes with that water? Well, when that water sits, all of that sediment sinks to the bottom.
Yes, it does.
You don't have to worry about that. And the spout is off the bottom. The spout is not directly on the bottom.
Yes.
So you're not going to have to worry about that.
Hey, listen, guys. Okay, this is my rant. I'm warning you that I have some rants sometimes. This is my rant. Have you ever seen the inside of your pipes?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Because the thing is, it's like we get really concerned. I'm saying we as in just a general cultural, we get really concerned about rainwater and sitting in the tanks and all that kind of stuff and what you're describing. But what I want to suggest to you is just to think about it in terms of where your water is coming from. How clean are those pipes? You have no idea. I'll take rainwater any day.
Yep.
That's my rant. End of rant.
Yeah, go open up a water pipe in your house that's been there for 40 years and see how clean it is. It is going to be disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Do you think you're ever going to get goats?
We laugh because we just really dislike goats.
Next question.
We're not goat people.
Yes, that's what I meant about filtered rainwater. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, I figured, Scott. That's where I thought that's where you're going.
No, the water. Seriously, once it took a little bit to settle. Once my dad had finished putting in the pipes, But once it's settled, it's really clean water now.
Yeah, very clean. At least it looks clean. It looks as clean as it comes out
yeah,
of your
I
faucet.
wouldn't drink it. We're really, really big into filtering whatever we drink. I wouldn't drink it, but I cook with the rainwater as long as I'm boiling it. I have no issue.
Right. Yeah, and our Berkey, that's why we love our Berkey. You know, you've probably seen our Berkey videos. I mean, the Berkey is a great filter. Highly recommend that for anybody. It looks good. It works good. And if you're getting rainwater, like all of our water right now is rainwater that we're using on the Homestead. We're not even using our wells anymore right now, are we?
No, we haven't used well water in a while.
We have over 5,000 gallon capacity on the Homestead. And we have our wells if we need them, but we're just using rainwater right now. And
because the rain is filling the tanks automatically.
Right. And it's good water. I mean, you can tell the difference. Mm-hmm. So, especially you said when you wash your hair with it.
I think if you've never washed your hair with rainwater, you're missing out.
So, let's see. What states do you recommend to move to? I think that's what Carolina is talking about. I'm partial to Arkansas. Ozarks is good. Here's the deal. There's a guy by the name of Joel Skousen. He wrote a book on the best bug out states in the United States. Which states are the best bug out ones? I forgot. Let me look. Let me just Google this real quick because this is a really good question. Joel Skousen, best states, and see what that pulls up. Okay, so it's called Strategic Relocation Briefing. The Strategic Relocation Briefing by Joel Skousen, and it gives a 5. Yeah, that's it. Our friend, Don has that.
Oh.
Strategic Relocation by Joel Skousen. It's a book, and it gives a 5-star rating on the different states you want to move to. It ranks Arkansas very low. And I think I just put a video out on this for the patrons. So if you're a patron, you probably got this video. But it ranks Arkansas very low because he says, and he is sort of accurate on this, that people in Arkansas, especially in the Ozarks, the backcountry where we live, are very skeptical of newcomers. And that's sort of true. We've taken time to win over our neighbors.
Yeah, it's taken some time.
But, you can do it. So, but he ranks it low for that purpose. And so it's a very good book. I read part of it. I've looked at some of the, I don't own the book, but I've flipped through from other people who've owned it. And it's a real written book. So if you're looking for a place to move to and you want to know how the states rank, according to at least Joel Skousen, check out that book, Strategic Relocation.
What we've found with our neighbors is just to just treat them good.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard is that? But I think that sometimes people who are used to a city life,
they come in here and they think these people are just a bunch of rednecks.
Yeah, they think that they don't know anything.
And these people know way more than you do, I guarantee you.
I mean, they're simple people. A lot of times that their clothes are ripped, they're dirty. I'm just saying this is the way it is, and but they don't think anything of it. They've had a hard day's work. They have ripped jeans. So what? But we're not. City people aren't used to seeing that kind of thing, so they automatically equate that with being dumb, which is absolutely wrong.
No, these people are highly intelligent. They know way more than you. They could run circles around you when it comes to homesteading. What your best bet is to milk them for every ounce of knowledge that they can possibly give you, and then thank them profusely for it. That's what you can do, because these people, some of them their families have been here for generations upon generations,
and buy what they're selling.
Yeah, they got milk to sell, buy it. They got eggs to sell, buy it.
And then take the time to sit and talk with them. I think that what we don't realize, being those of us who have come from the cities, we are so enmeshed in do, go. We don't even know our neighbors anymore. We've never met the person in the apartment next door. That's the mentality we're coming from, so that when we get to the country, we think, oh, well, I don't have time to go. I just want the milk. Can I just buy the milk and go? No, you can't. No, part of the deal is that you sit and talk. And I've had to learn that because that's really not kind of my nature. But I appreciate it now.
Yeah. There's a lot you can learn from these guys, so it would behoove you to do that. Where was I? Someone says he's scared of Idaho because of the Ruby Ridge. That's just crazy. You can go to Idaho. There's good people in Idaho. If you like cold weather, you can go to Idaho. But Jamie's not about to move to Idaho.
I like the warm weather.
Yeah. So, Missouri and Arkansas are good for off-grid. They have a lot of low regulations in the rural areas, but some of the metropolitan areas, their regulations are crazy. So, it's all depending. Always make sure where you're moving to. What? You don't like goats? Emma says. Absolutely not. Goats, no. Goats. A goat gets up every day and says, "How can I kill myself today?" Or a goat gets up every day and says, "What can I break today?" Goats are absolutely horrible. I've been around goats on 2 different occasions, and each time it proved itself over and over to be a disaster. Compared to sheep are easy. And I don't know if you're a Bible reader, but there's a good clue on why at the end the father separates the goats from the sheep from the goats, because there's a difference there. A goat gets up every day and wants to destroy something and test its limits. A sheep gets up every day and says, "Where's the grass? I want to eat grass." For the most part. Okay. Let's see.
We have really strong feelings, but for those of you who love your goats, that's awesome.
Yeah,
you gotta find the animal for you. And it's not always going to be the same choice for everybody.
Yeah. I don't like goats. I just don't like goats because I just think that they're destructive. I tell this story. I built a feeder one time. It was a feeder for goats. It was 2x4 construction, wire mesh, and it was solid. It was completely solid. And within like 2 days, they were ramming it with their heads. They were tearing it apart. They were climbing in it. They were pooping inside of it. It was destroyed within like 2.5 days or so. And then we came here and we built a sheep feeder, and to keep their feet off the ground, to put their hay in, and so they could eat. It was a feeder, and imagine that. They came up and they ate out of it, just like they were supposed to do. That's what sheep do. But see, goats don't do that. You put a car out there, they're going to climb on it. You put a feeder out there, they're going to climb on it. They're going to ram it with their heads. They're going to destroy it. And there's a reason why sheep are easy. They're just easy. They're good herd animals, and if you don't have any pasture, then goats might be your option. But if you have pasture, sheep, man, don't torture yourself. Just get the sheep. So I'll leave that at that. Let's see. How is law enforcement there in Idaho? Oh, he's on Idaho. I don't know about Idaho. Yeah, be sure to hit the thumbs up, folks. We really appreciate it. Thanks for everyone tuning in. We're not ready to go yet, but I'm trying to think. What else is going on? Me, myself, and I says I love my goats. All right. Definitely keep your goats.
Yeah, do what you love. Like, that's the thing about homesteading is there's so many things, so many choices. And I really, really, really believe that if you're going to be a homesteader, you got to decide what you love and go for it. Because if you take someone's advice and you don't like it, you end up not liking it, try something else, because you got to find what's good for you, because that's what's going to keep you in it for the long haul. If you hate what you're doing, you're not going to keep doing it.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong because you like goats, but you're wrong because you like goats.
Zach.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Did you get your well water tested? Yes. We had both wells tested, and water came back fine. It had coliform bacteria, which is basically normal. But it didn't have any E. coli bacteria or any other harmful bacteria that, throw up any red flags. But we filter everything anyway when it comes to drinking it.
Our neighbors drank water from our well.
Oh, yeah. They drank it.
For, 6 months at least.
Yeah, they drank a lot of our water, and they had no problems.
Yeah, they couldn't get their well.
What? Still haven't gotten their well drilled.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. But they're collecting rainwater now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, they would get water from our well for months. To drink, and they drank it straight without filtering.
Yeah. Root Cellar hasn't started yet, Peoria dude. But it's every time I see his avatar, I think of the Big Lebowski. I think that's probably what he's doing, Peoria dude, the dude. Not sure. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yes.
It was a horrible movie.
It was painful.
I thought it was funny, but she doesn't like those kind of movies. But it's still a horrible movie. Nothing I would watch nowadays. Do you make your own bread? Why are we not making our own bread, honey?
Whenever I've made it, you don't even eat it that much.
I do eat it. What are you talking about? I love your bread.
But you don't eat it that much.
I do. I love her bread. I eat her bread.
This is a source of contention, if you can tell. So thanks for that question. I make bread, yes. I do know how to make bread. I am not making bread because I don't eat wheat anymore.
Yeah, she's on the whole non-wheat thing.
And I've talked about it before.
I'm still eating bread.
I'm not into the whole fad thing. I'm not like I just don't feel good when I eat wheat.
Yeah. Any bats yet? No bats. Well, I haven't looked at the box lately, but I don't think there's bats. In fact, I think there might be wasps living in there. Yeah. I gotta clean them out again and just keep it cleaned. Aaron says, I joined Steam It because of Zach. Yay! Go check out Steam It, folks. I'm going to do a video this week and talk about that, talk about YouTube. The Titanic has hit an iceberg. It's so obvious. You know. Anyway, we'll talk about that this week. I'm going to do a video on it, so it's coming up. Let's see.
I love bread, too. I really love bread.
Most of you guys remember, you guys have been listening to our podcast for any length of time. Me and Jamie made a deal that I would not buy ramen anymore, ever again, if I would eat her bread.
I know, and I kind of reneged on the deal.
Then she's like, I'm not eating bread anymore. And so I'm still not eating ramen. I haven't eaten ramen since. So I do like ramen, but I haven't eaten it. So I'm just, what am I getting by on? I'm wasting away.
You are not. Listen, I made him a smoothie the other day for lunch, and he loved it.
Yeah, it was good.
I've been working really hard to make, because I've said here before that I don't make lunch, which is generally true. However, all of the food that gets served at the table, I do make at some point at some time, whether it's canned or what. The thing is, I don't work a lot for lunch. Like, I'm not preparing a whole meal.
Right.
But, we eat simple food for lunch. So I made smoothies.
Yeah.
With our magic bullet plugged into our solar outlet.
Yeah. So solar power made our smoothies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it was good.
Yeah, we made kefir. I don't have any kefir going right now. Yes.
Can we start it again? Do we have grains?
We could, but I was going to start it last time, but all the milk got drank, and then I didn't get it started, and...
Yeah, all the milk's going to be gone tomorrow. We bought it on Friday, and it's going to be already gone.
Yeah, because we had cereal. We don't always have cereal.
Yeah, we don't usually do that. So anyway, we drank our milk real quick. We have to go back and get some more milk. Zach, eat what she gives you. Happy wife, happy life.
True statement.
Yeah. So I really need to get out of California. Thank you for all of the suggestions. I know you feel my pain. I do, because I get so many emails from people like you, Carolina, that I know your pain, because there's so many people who tell me about it, and people want to get out of California. And if you're in California, you can do it. Seriously, just put your stuff up for sale, get rid of stuff, take your stuff to the Goodwill. Americans today are loaded down with stuff. You've got to just unload everything. If that means give it away for free, then give it away for free and get out of there. Sell your house and move and go somewhere where there's a lower cost of living. Someone selling their home in California can come out to some of the lower populated areas of the country and live like a king. You can do it. You can totally do it. But
where there's a will, there's a way.
You can do it.
And if you have to rough it for a while, we've known a lot of people,
We
including ourselves.
We lived in a trailer for a while. You can do it. You can rough it if that's what it takes. So, hey, listen, guys, had a great show. Thanks for tuning in again this week. Please check out our sponsors. It's gasspouts.com, and you can get 20% off your order if you're trying to replace your ridiculous Walmart or China Mart gas spouts for your gas cans by using our coupon code in the description below. You can find it linked there. So, all right. Hey, guys, thanks so much, and tune in again next week. We'll see you then. See you from the Homestead next time on the Homestead.